two pairs of Egbert twins marrying simultaneously with Dermot twins, creating a harmonious and beautiful picture. However, as they stepped into parenthood, they began to uncover secrets that had long been buried in the annals of their family history. Delving deeper, they stumbled upon the enigmatic figure of Dr. Harold Green, who has been hiding the cruel truth for so long. Andrea and Louisa Egbert were inseparable. With their strikingly similar looks, dark eyes, curly Egbert hair, and matching dimples, they turned heads wherever they went. Growing up in vibrant Chicago, they caught everyone's attention not just for their appearance but also for their synchronized mannerisms. They dressed alike, finished each other's sentences, and shared a laughter that echoed eerily. But their connection ran deeper than surface level. Both sisters were passionate about genetics, drawn to the science that explained their identical DNA. They became local celebrities, renowned not only for their beauty, but also for their intellectual prowess. Invitations to speak at schools, workshops, and conventions flooded in, showcasing their unique bond and expertise in genetics. It was at a twin convention in Atlanta where their lives took a surprising twist, surrounded by pairs of all kinds, fraternal, identical, young, and old. Amidst a crowd of twins, Amory and Aubrey Dermot from Houston stood out, their matching jet Egbert hair and charming smiles making them almost indistinguishable. Their southern charm caught the eye of the Egbert sisters. Although the convention aimed to explore the unique experiences of twins for these two pairs, it was the stage for their intertwined destinies. Andrea found herself deeply engaged in a discussion with Amory about Vivaldi and the timeless charm of classical music during an informal gathering. They bonded over their mutual appreciation for the intricacies of music. Across the room, Louisa and Aubrey enthusiastically shared stories of their recent travels, with Aubrey showcasing his captivating photographs. As the convention days passed, the connection between the pairs became palpable. Evening strolls, shared meals, and deep conversations about life uncovered a bond that went beyond surface similarities. Their personalities, dreams, and even quirks seemed eerily aligned. Similar to the Egbert sisters, the Dermot brothers shared a profound connection that transcended their identical appearance. The convention came to an end, but the story of the two pairs was just beginning. Over the next few months, the distance between Chicago and Houston seemed trivial. Frequent visits, endless phone calls, and shared vacations became the norm. The bond between Andrea and Amory deepened, their shared introspection and love for the classics acting as a foundation. Meanwhile, Louisa and Aubrey's relationship flourished, with Louisa often modeling for Aubrey's photography projects and the two exploring new places together. As the seasons changed and the months rolled on, the couples found their lives becoming even more intertwined. It wasn't just a union of two hearts, but a merging of two twin souls. And so, in an intimate gathering surrounded by close friends and family, Aubrey and Amory dropped to one knee, each holding a shimmering ring. Their proposal, much like their relationship, was beautifully synchronized. The Egbert sisters, overwhelmed with emotion and joy, said yes, setting in motion plans for not just one, but two weddings. The decision to have a dual wedding was unanimous. After all, their story had always been about shared experiences, and what better experience to share than the union of their souls? The twin-themed wedding was nothing short of a spectacle. The quaint church in the heart of Chicago was abuzz with excitement. Its pews filled to the brim with eager attendees, many of whom were twins themselves. The aisles were lined with dual rows arrangements perfectly mirrored, representing the two couples' parallel lives converging on this very day. Months of meticulous planning had led to this moment. Lara and Louisa, true to their synchronized style, had opted for identical wedding gowns. The dresses, designed by a renowned courtier, featured intricate lacework, capturing the essence of their shared journey, every stitch telling a tale of unity and love. Their veils were adorned with tiny crystals that caught the church's ambient light, casting shimmering reflections all around. Amory and Aubrey, in perfectly tailored tuxedos, awaited at the altar, their matching boutonnieres echoing the theme of duality. The highlight of the evening was a synchronized dance performance. Trained over weeks, the couples moved with uncanny synchronicity, their every step, twirl, and gesture perfectly mirrored. The guests watched in awe. Many moved to tears as the dance became a physical representation of the two pairs' shared journey in love. But amid the festivity and joy, the ceremony was more than just an exchange of rings. As the couples took turns to share their vows, their narratives offered glimpses into their respective pasts, revealing the tapestry of experiences that had brought them to this point. Andrea and Louisa, in a heartfelt tribute, spoke of their parents' struggles with infertility. The Egbert sisters recounted tales of their parents' countless visits to fertility clinics, the heartbreak of failed treatments, and the indescribable joy of finally conceiving them. This struggle had ignited the Egbert sisters' interest in genetics. They wanted to delve deep into the science that had, after so much pain, given them life. As they shared this, many in the audience, including the older members of the Egbert family, were moved to tears, touched by the strength and resilience of a love that had overcome so much. The Dermot brothers, on the other hand, painted a different picture. Amory and Aubrey reminisced about their boisterous childhood in Houston. Raised in a sprawling home filled with siblings, laughter, and chaos, they spoke of family picnics, competitive sibling rivalries, and a home that was always bursting at the seams. Their parents had instilled in them the values of family, kinship, and the dream of one day starting families of their own. The Dermot family, present in full force, cheered and laughed, basking in the warmth of shared memories. The evening was a roller coaster of emotions, joy, nostalgia, and overwhelming love. The ceremony culminated with the couples sealing their vows with a kiss as the church bells rang, celebrating the union of two pairs whose lives had become inextricably intertwined. As the guests bid them farewell, showering them with rose petals and blessings, Andrea, Louisa, and Brian Aubrey left for a joint honeymoon, a voyage to the Mediterranean. This adventure was yet another chapter in their shared lives, a testament to the strength of their bonds and the promise of many more shared experiences to come. The initial euphoria of the wedding soon gave way to the comforting hum of daily life. The couples, while living in adjacent apartments in Chicago, found solace in their routines, celebrating the small joys of marital bliss. Morning coffees, evening walks, and weekend getaways became treasured moments in their intertwined lives. As months morphed into a year, the conversations over dinners began to echo the same sentiment, the desire to start a family. Fate, never missing an opportunity to weave its tapestry, had another surprise in store. Both Andrea and Louisa found out they were expecting within weeks of each other. The news brought jubilation not just to the couples, but to the extended families who reveled in the continuing synchronicity of their lives. However, for Andrea and Louisa, their scientific curiosity couldn't be stifled. The impending arrival sparked a deeper interest in their genetic lineage. Driven by a mix of professional curiosity and a desire to understand their heritage better, the sisters, with the support of their husbands, began researching their family's genetic history. It started innocently enough, a few swabs, some lab tests, and hours spent poring over genetic maps and charts. But as they delved deeper, they began to uncover secrets that had long been buried in the annals of their family history, They discovered old medical records, journals, and letters that hinted at a struggle that went beyond their parents' infertility issues. Meanwhile, as part of the routine checkups during their pregnancies, both sisters underwent prenatal tests. The results, however, were far from routine. A genetic marker present in both Andrea and Luisa and their unborn children was identified. This marker was associated with a rare genetic disorder that could lead to a myriad of health complications. The gravity of the revelation was palpable. The joy and anticipation that had surrounded the pregnancies were suddenly clouded with fear, uncertainty, and an overwhelming sense of guilt. The couples grappled with myriad emotions. How had this marker gone undetected for so long? Were they carriers of a dormant gene? What did this mean for their unborn children? For the Egbert sisters, the discovery was especially poignant. Their passion for genetics, which had always been a source of empowerment and pride, now seemed like a cruel irony. Their very expertise had led them to a dark secret that might have remained hidden in blissful ignorance. The Dermot brothers, while equally concerned, became pillars of strength during this turbulent period. They attended every medical consultation, sought second and third opinions, and researched every possible intervention. Together, the couples faced the uncertainties, the sleepless nights and the anxious days, their bond deepening in the face of adversity. Medical professionals were consulted, specialists were roped in, and every possible resource was tapped into to understand the implications of the genetic marker better. While the prognosis was uncertain, the resilience and determination of the couples were unwavering. They decided to face the challenge head-on, arming themselves with knowledge and preparing for every eventuality. This part of the story, while steeped in tension, ends with a glimmer of hope. The couples, surrounded by their families, attend a support group for parents with similar genetic concerns. As they share their stories and draw strength from one another, they realize that love, support, and understanding can conquer even the most formidable challenges. Amidst the whirlwind of medical consultations and genetic tests, Andrea and Luisa stumble upon a shocking revelation. Sifting through their parents' old papers, they found receipts and records from a fertility clinic. Intrigued, they dug further and found a similar thread in the Dermot family history. Astonishingly, both sets of parents had sought treatments at the same clinic under the guidance of one Dr. Harold Green. While the connection seemed like mere coincidence at first, a deeper investigation painted a more sinister picture. Dr. Green, the renowned fertility specialist, had not only treated both sets of parents, but had also been involved in several malpractices during his tenure. In his quest to produce successful pregnancies for his patients, he had unethically tampered with genetic material, leading to the very anomaly now present in Andrea, Luisa, and their unborn children. This discovery tore through the couples like a tempest. For the Egbert sisters, every foundational belief about their identity seemed to shatter. They wrestled with feelings of betrayal. The very essence of their being, their genetic identity, felt like a lie. The bonds that defined their lives suddenly seemed fragile and muddled. The Dermot brothers, while initially pillars of support, found themselves navigating their own emotional storm. They were consumed by guilt for unintentionally introducing this genetic abnormality into their married life. Aubrey especially struggled with feelings of inadequacy, pondering if he could have acted differently. The excitement of impending parenthood was clouded by uncertainties and anxieties. However, it's often through facing adversity that relationships are put to the test and fortified. Acknowledging the emotional toll of their revelation, both couples pursued therapy and guidance. In sessions filled with tears, they confronted their deepest fears, insecurities, and sense of betrayal. They came to realize the distinction between their genetic makeup and their chosen identities, understanding that the true essence of family goes beyond DNA. The arrival of the babies signaled a turning point. Andrea and Luisa each welcomed healthy infants, whose laughter and purity brought solace to the wounds of recent events. Cradling their newborns, the couples experienced a revived sense of purpose. While genetics could have played a part in shaping who they were, it was their decisions, deeds, and affection that truly defined their families. Fast forward to a year later, the two families come together for a joint birthday bash for the little ones. The atmosphere brims with joy, warmth, and an unspoken recognition of the journey they've traversed. Grandparents, aunts, uncles, and friends assemble not only to mark the milestones of the youngest members, but also to honor the resilience and fortitude of the bonds they've built. The tale concludes with a heartfelt moment shared between the Egbert sisters and the Dermot brothers. Retreating to the balcony amidst the festive commotion, they share a serene interlude. They ponder over their voyage, its peaks and valleys, and the profound insights gained about kinship, identity, and love. Andrea, cradling her infant, murmurs, "Our history may be intricate, but our destiny is ours to shape." Aubrey chimes in with a grin, and it's a destiny crafted not just by genetics, but by love, faith, and choice. The narrative draws to a close with the quartet gazing forward, bound by their shared odyssey, their connection fortified and deepened, prepared to confront whatever lies ahead.